And we're back. After he's drinking butter.
No,
For some
it's
reason.
I can't believe it's not butter. There's
That-
a difference. It's not butter.
Anyway, is there one that we want to press? I'll buy.
Maybe you should be the alibi.
Wait, hold on. She says her thoughts were confirmed here.
Yeah, I want to press that.
Yeah, that's. Why are they confirmed? What do you mean?
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be clever camouflage. Not to mention,
Phoenix, you're a retard.
yeah, like not to mention it wasn't even the cause of death.
What about the button?
The button.
Clear from the crime scene that the victim and the murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from Jammin' Ninja's costume.
You're talking about this button, correct?
The button was found on the pleats of Matt's Kama, isn't that correct? I think it makes it very decisive evidence.
Does it though? Does it?
Sorry, I was doing a Phoenix Wright internal monologue there. Phoenix Wright, you're not doing an internal monologue.
Yeah,
there.
yeah. It's anyway. The knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
Can't stand the sight of a man who can't accept his defeat gracefully.
Thank God you can still look at me.
With an icy stare, yes.
Why are my thoughts so easy to read?
Miss Andrews, Mr. Wright's, work, for his sake, add your information to your testimony, please. I've stopped giving a shit.
Okay, this we know is not even true. As,
Strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife.
yeah.
Yeah. So, autopsy report?
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
You're a retard!
So, this is the victim's autopsy report. Clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And the hell does this mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off his costume when?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly. Which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There's no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled from the victim's already dead body.
What is the meaning of this, Wright? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose does that serve?
What purpose?
We know now that this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took time and effort to purposefully rip this off the victim's body. That would mean the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't he?
Mind Discord. Does this mean you know the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was it?
Obviously.
Crime on and guard.
Yeah.
Like, they have a memento. What the fuck do you think?
Yeah.
You know, fucking judge.
There's only one logical reasoning for doing something like this. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There was no way anyone would have pulled a bloody button in their own pants. Like, why? What would the point of that be? Mr. On Guard was clearly set up. By the real killer, of course.
Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. Well, we'll finally get to where we need to.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
Well, I think we've been alluding to this already and already put our theory earlier.
Yeah.
So...
Pearl Fay.
Stop.
What? No, it's not Pearl Fay.
Why would it be?
Hours.
No, he was innocent last time, remember?
Yeah, but now he's lost the fame. He's lost everything. Now he's just...
I'll just present the one that we think it is.
I mean, we've been alluding to it this entire time, haven't we, Miss Andrews?
I choose you.
Yeah.
She's not a fucking
because
Pokemon, Phoenix.
Wow, that's kind of possessive, don't you think?
Oh, see, I told you it was gonna happen at least one more time.
Thank God she has a couple of pairs of glasses.
I'm also honestly impressed with the way her face is tilting and the way the glass is shattering. It's not stabbing her in the eye.
This is a great matter. Do you have any evidence?
Any evidence? All the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
How preposterous! I can't stick any. They can't stick any of that on me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
And what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard, naturally. The knife, covered in the defendant's fingerprints, could only be taken from his room. And the only person who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you. That's a lot of them.
Then, what about the button that was found at Matt Sakama?
His body was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, then there is no way he would have put such an incriminating evidence in his own Akama. The only person who could have put this bomb into Mr. On Guard's Akama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews.
And the empty guitar case?
Is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No, Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found in the guitar case. It was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
That's because she didn't intend on leaving any print. If anyone had found that she touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open it. But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body.
At this point, stop putting glasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews?
Um,
Mm,
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What?
There's a law that says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me.
Well, yes. Absolutely correct. The law does provide a way to avoid self-incrimination. And not only to not testify in testimony, they can cause damage to themselves.
Yeah, that's your Fifth Amendment rights. Pleading the Fifth and all that. Hmm.
Adrian Andrews.
Yes.
Think hard about what we just discussed today, understood?
All right.
Okay, so what was it about that? That's when Francisca planted the idea into her head. Must have told her not to testify if things look bad.
Ah, you did a good job proving everything to this point, Phoenix. There's still one thing you haven't done.
And that would be...
What's wrong, Wright? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence?
What's so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth?
Sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up till now at this point is meaningless.
Excuse me?
Everything you've proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Kurita.
Miss Andrews, you did want to kill Mr. Kurita?
I believe this may lead me into incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that...
That's
no,
not
that
how
is
pleading the
literally
Fifth...
illegal.
That is not how pleading the Fifth works.
Yeah.
That is completely contradictory to the idea of it.
Yes, but no.
No, it actually is, Zach. Like
it actually is.
You cannot take an assumption based off the fact of someone withholding a testimony.
Yes, but that's not how people work. So no, it's not. In most cases, most people see that as you hiding something. So
yeah, like
so
as
in most
people work, yes. As the law works, no.
Yeah, well,
the judge cannot insinuate such things.
Yeah, like no, that would get him disbarred. Like
I don't care.
Like,
I don't care what you think. It's still gonna affect someone no matter the position they're in.
Yeah, it is, but he legally can't do anything about it.
Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't know what crime I'd be guilty of due to my silence.
We gotta wait. There's gotta be a way to worm her out of this, isn't there? Maya?
Mia. God damn it.
Mia, sorry.
Phoenix, what the hell's wrong with you? Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation.
I think that we've reached a conclusion at this point in time. Miss Agent Andrew has refused to testify, and the defense's theory is that she's actually the murderer. Has not been fully substantiated with solid definitive proof.
That's not true, though.
And that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
It was that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Not tomorrow. We don't have a tomorrow. Please wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial, please continue.
What are you sweating for? Klein is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then my... fuck.
It's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now that this court is...
It is not impossible for the trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, topic of conversation where something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, has no right to withhold her testimony.
Yes, that's true, but...
Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews, when you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Usually when one finds a body, they're shaking up, not stirring a glass of juice. I get shaken, not stirred, I get it. It's actually clever wordplay, I'll give it to them.
Yeah, that was actually a bit clever wordplay.
Some actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want you to state if you have a reason behind your actions. Like you testify to that effect. Testify. Honor, I would like to request the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. When we find out this testimony should be no way to implicate the witness. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
He's always been a friend.
Well,
I mean, we're on opposite sides of the argument, but...
I'm saying the first game, he wasn't exactly friend.
Could you say that they're friends to the very end?
When I found the body. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked to the room and I saw it. It was in a messy state. Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, I thought he was dead. That didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went and poured him some juice. I realized that he was dead. That's when I knocked up the flower vase over.
That's very different to how things were presented earlier.
Yeah, it also makes no sense.
Yeah. Oh man, he looks like he fainted. Let me get him juice. Unless like he's like a diabetic, then...
But here's the thing also, like, that's also assuming that
There's also
there wasn't a bloody knife in his
Yeah,
chest.
Deadlock brought it up. I didn't even have to say it. Didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, please be careful here. Can't find anything wrong. Just use chaos control to get more time.
Chaos control.
Yeah, I know. What?
Ah, you mean the chaos emeralds? Like this one here.
Unfortunately, I cannot do Obama's voice. If I could, my jokes would be legendary.
Okay,
Okay.
so
We know. I know.
this one.
Not this one.
Not
Nope.
This one.
No, because yes, he was slumped over.
Yeah,
She
he
might-
was slumped over. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. And the photo. Or
Yep. Crime scene photo, I believe it is.
yes.
Yeah, that one. The one with a
With the knife in his chest.
yeah. So, you honestly didn't think he was dead when you found him?
No, not at all.
Even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body? With a bleeding knife in him?
Ah.
I mean, isn't this obvious? Come on. There's a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Kurita's chest. Anyone who saw this theme would have immediately thought that he was a dead man.
That's... Well, you see...
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted. And then so nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Judge, come on.
Miss Andrews? Your testimony just now was all one giant lie. How many of those has she gone through?
I don't know, 10, maybe now?
And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer.
No.
Yeah. Oh no.
Wow, that is...
No, bad kitty, no.
It looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly light to truth. The defendant, Mr. Matt Ongard, was not guilty after all.
That's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt, I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
Why were you the one who refused to testify? And your reason for not doing it was so you might end up incriminating yourself.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, one last chance. If you're hiding anything, I'll kill you.
They're just out for blood today.
I had to deal with this old bag. That's enough.
I refuse to testify.
And there's no reason for the court to continue. Mr. Mattangard's innocence has clearly been demonstrated.
Is it over? Have we found the truth at last?
What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt. Not always.
Yeah, well, in Phoenix's case,
In
yes.
Phoenix's case, this is the first time someone hasn't.
Now then, I'd like to hand down my verdict for Mr. Matt Ongard.
Thank you, Edgeworth, for doing this for the audience.
Your Honor. The prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass down a verdict at this time. The judge really just wants to end this case. He wants nothing more to do with this.
Well, he probably has a huge backlog of other cases he needs to get through, let's be honest.
What? No, I only do, like, every case that Phoenix does. I don't actually do real work.
There are other judges here. We don't get to see most of them, but there are others.
Yeah, I'm assigned to deal with all the Phoenix bullshit because no one else is willing to take any of it seriously.
Anyway, the reason's quite simple. The witness has yet to speak about the absolute truth.
The absolute real truth? What are you on about?
Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head. As long as you protect yourself through your silence, Adam Guard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. I was told if I spoke, that it would be all over, and Matt would never be declared guilty.
She, yeah, like that's literally the reality that's going on around her, and she doesn't seem to realize it.
Can't speak about. She's literally saying she's just too afraid. It's Franziska von Karma. She's planted this idea in her head. Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrew lives by gripping tightly onto the words of others. Because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
And right now, Miss Andrews is...
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss Von Karma. Don't say a word, no matter what happens. If you do, the guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes those words right now and clinging on to them.
Well, we get our acquittal if we do nothing.
Yeah, but Phoenix wouldn't feel good about putting an innocent person behind bars or getting them killed.
No, he would not. He would still try to do the right thing. Yeah, like, but she has to be the real killer, right? Like, who else would it be if it's not her? But is that right, Phoenix?
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Please, someone help me. I feel bad. I also feel bad I can't do a scared girl's voice.
Turn into a Southern Belle.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court can't continue like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
You're supposed to be a huge dick right now, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Right? I suggest you think very carefully about this. Think about what the witness did and what she did not do. And think about who the real mastermind behind this crime. Phoenix, no. Come now. What do you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Request not guilty verdict. Force her to testify. What kind of man are we?
I'm curious what kind of a man Andrew is.
We force her to testify.
What were you going to say, Deadlock?
Yeah, no, the exact same.
He's leeching off your answer.
No, come on, you knew I would do
Deadlock
that too.
Deadlock doing.
No, I wanted
the trust over there.
Yeah, I honestly did want to know. Yeah. Yeah, no, the truth, the absolute truth, and nothing but. Yeah, I want to know what she's really hiding.
Mr. Wright, are you sure you know what you're doing? Because you usually don't, it seems.
Sure, Mr. Vanguard will get an acquittal, but in this place, you would be found guilty. Is this how you really want the trial to end?
Be quiet. How dare you? You've been trying to trick me.
I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong. Shame. I'd hope things wouldn't have come to this. However...
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth is going to be the dick now. Miss Andrew, since you refuse to testify, falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop. Oh.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Oh god. Getting intense. This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What?
Is she down with the sickness?
No.
Oh no.
She has and because of this illness, she has tried to commit in the past.
Ooh.
Stop. Please stop. Edgeworth, he's doing the right thing, but oh god, it's such a dick move.
I mean, we were doing this earlier to her.
Yeah, well, that's when we were talking to her in private.
Yeah.
This is like out in the
still
open.
It's still dredging it up in an awful way.
Yeah, but now he's doing it in
yeah.
front of everyone, where she asked us not to say a word about it. We were like, alright, we won't. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here.
You admitted to it.
Yep, that's her attempted off point. Oh god.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I'm about to do, don't you? I now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
The dick move.
A dick move, but a necessary one.
Yeah, I understand why he has to do it, but still dick move.
Yeah.
Please stop. I beg you. People find out. If you find out, I'll... Going to say you choose death, then that's no concern to me. Alright, now that's a...
Yeah, that is cold.
Now that's just real... Oof.
Yeah, that is cold.
He's got to be the dick here, though.
Oh, he does. However, before you die, I'll pull the truth from your breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. You tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I didn't even notice it until now, but if you look closely at her face, you could see a tear at the edge of her eye. I didn't notice it until now.
No, I actually did not.
It's very hard to see because her face is kind of small, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll talk. But please help me. Oh God, nothing matters anymore.
Ow.
First saw him, I thought he really fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that's when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. Then I stabbed Juan's body with the dead knife. A dead body with the dead knife. And ripped off the button. And when I was finished, I returned to Matt's room. I had a bit of an inconvenience. That's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
She stabbed the body with a knife, but why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all this?
Might take the court a little while to understand this, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt. Scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him. Tried to escape his guilt again, just like last time.
Oh.
Oh.
That's new.
The plot is thickening. So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with a knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. Did it with the intent to frame Matt Ungard for the murder. It's also... So, if anything, she'd be charged with desecration of a
Tampering
corpse.
with the crime scene.
That too. So, desecration of a corpse and crime scene tampering.
Still probably better than murder, though.
Oh yeah, she's not gonna get nearly as heavy a sentence. She's not gonna get nearly as heavy a sentence.
Especially if she was coerced into this, like...
Well,
Miss Francisca's fucked.
Well, the knife thing was before this, so... Francisca only got her to be quiet about things.
Well, yeah, Miss Francisca wanted her to conceal evidence, which is illegal.
Well, this is not the first time she's tried doing that.
Not the last time, probably, either.
Nope.
Yeah, what... Oh my... This is very quickly spiraling now. Judge?
Mr. Wright, get over your shock and cross-examine, please. I want to go home.
You know, for someone who likes tabloids so much, I thought you would love the drama.
I love drama. I love being able to do it at my own time, though.
I didn't notice anything we needed evidence on. I don't know about you guys.
I think that everything here is
that might be
just true.
Yeah, which if that is the case, it's a press everything.
Yep. I'll be right back. I need to the bathroom, but...
I'll read your lines while you're gone.
Yeah, but you could have tell from the state of the room was in that there must have been a fight, surely. Are you telling the truth when you say you did not know he was dead?
Yeah, a scarf tied around his neck, but the scarf was part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it. It was strange. That was also tilted down a bit so I couldn't see his face that well. But I thought I'd wake him up, and went to pour the juice.
Yeah, that actually makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think that everything she says from here on we can take at face value from her.
Yeah. What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because, one, he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak points to the world. Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence to pin the crime on Matt. Forged pieces of evidence. The forged pieces of evidence were the knife and the button. Okay, so going further, we know the knife and the button don't have anything to do with the crime.
Yeah, they have to do with her tampering.
Yeah. First thing that came to my mind was to plant the knife.
That was so you can get the knife, correct?
The knife... Sorry, I got distracted. The knife Matt was used at dinner had fingerprints all over it. Thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eye towards him. I was napping with the costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, returned to the scene of the crime.
So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
The goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. When I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suppose I realized something. Used this button to somehow make Matt even more like a suspect. So you ripped off one of the buttons. So you thought if you ripped off one of the buttons, placed it on Matt and Guardsakama. Yes, that's what I planned to do. Never go that smoothly, do they? Okay. Next one.
And that was Miss Lotta Hart. And that inconvenience was Miss Lotta Hart, wasn't it?
Yep, there's a woman in the with the camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
Yep.
There's also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
Yep, that's the soul bag for you.
I'd been caught and made into a big scoop for one certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again.
You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you?
Yes, I took it from Global Studios, put it in Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. Did this in preparation for... Wait, so she knew he was going to be murdered?
No. He knew that Juan was going to...
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So she was helping him with it.
Right, I got confused. I confused myself. She wanted them both to go down.
No, I don't think she wanted Juan to go down.
No, because
I think they both knew what Matt did, and that was what the confession was. So she wanted to help him expose it.
Oh, so you think she found out the truth that Juan didn't actually get the first woman killed?
Yeah. Well, no, not even that, but like...
Well, because,
she figured out what happened without the note, or maybe she ended up knowing about the contents of the suicide note, or whatever, that note.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, because Juan found her, so
like,
initially she was like...
I think she knows what was in that note and what happened. Like, and that's why she was helping Juan in the first place.
So I
think that's really what's going on here.
Again, so you think that she found out the truth that it wasn't really Juan that got her?
Well, I'm not. It's not. No, it's not necessarily that. I think Juan actually told her about the note himself. It was only those two who knew about it. So Miss Andrews could now be in a position to manage Mr. On Guard, and all the while prepare for this moment. Which is honestly devious as all hell if true.
No, we'll see soon. I think she wanted to take them both down because I don't know if she knows the truth about whether Juan was or was not involved.
Well, then here's a question: Why would she be helping Juan then all this time if that was the case?
She
She
said
wouldn't be doing this if she didn't have something to get out of it.
Well, I guess we'll see. Blame Matt. But she did stab Juan Corrida's body, so she doesn't. Yeah, she's definitely got.
At that point, it was already dead. So
Yeah, but she still did it. So there was like, we'll see.
But like that would also be the second person. So like, I would imagine something in her snapped.
We'll see.
Like he's doing it again. She realizes. That's what she said earlier. Hey, goddamn it, Von Karma.
No choice to believe her words.
Yeah, I'm sorry we've been talking over this dialogue.
Well, it's fine. However, as long as her testimony stands, be certain she's not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor.
Wait, Your Honor.
Oh, wait.
The defense still...
Right. Pointless. At this point in time, it's not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. Cross-examination of the witness is over, and so is today's trial. To establish the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
What?
Judge, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That is all. Court is adjourned for today. Ooh, big hammer slam.
Yeah, that was thunderous. But to be fair, that probably would feel like a death nail. Would it not? Yeah.
Well, he's by escape. Don't forget.
According to him, he still has her.
Yeah,
as far as he knows.
Yeah.
Didn't win an acquittal. And we actually don't know
Hold on,
if
Edgeworth.
she actually ended up doing it. They would kind of cut off from that.
I guess we'll see. Witness, you mind if I ask you something?
Edgeworth?
What is it? Before you leave court today, I wonder if I might look at one thing. That card in your hand has my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? This? Wright also asked me about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day? Yes. Found the card when I discovered Juan's body. A literal calling card.
Yeah.
Lying there right next to him.
And you took it?
And that card next to the victim.
Found that card next to the victim's body and took it?
I suppose it must have unconsciously slipped in my pocket. She was still kind of in a daze, so I don't blame her, I guess.
Yeah.
Not as if the card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? I feel like Phoenix has completely forgot about the killer who had admitted to killing.
Well, yeah, that's right. We learned about the card through Mia's connection. Like, spirit mediums and all that.
Or is...
Yeah, Phoenix, please. Brain, please.
Witness, that card! Give it to me, hurry!
Edgeworth?
You have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is this all about?
Well, that was out of nowhere from Edgeworth. Yeah, what is it? What does it mean?
I guess we'll find out next time.
Do 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 do.
On do 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 do. Love that jingle. Not as good as the first one, but still good. And we'll see you
Anything
guys
with that,
next
we'll see you
time.
next time.
Yeah.